Hey Rebelscum, I warned you I'd be back, and here I am with another sort of unique segment in the galaxy far, far away. So I'm passionate about all things Star Wars, but there's two lines in particular that are sort of my favorite. One of them I talked about last time is the Gentle Giant Jumbo series, and the other one is the Beast Kingdom Egg Attack Action series. Now, anyone not familiar with Beast Kingdom, they're a Taiwan-based company, and they make these sort of unique 6-inch style Star Wars figures with sort of deformed heads on them, and their bodies are using a mixed medium similar to Hot Toys, where it's fabric, it is plastic, it is metallic, sometimes vacuum formed. They have a lot of interesting features, including light up functionality, magnetized jetpacks or gun holsters, and a whole lot of surprises that you don't really see until you crack open the box and start playing with them. Often they don't even advertise these certain features that these figures have, but there's always a surprise in every box, just like a box of cereal. So they've been absent for a while. After Rogue One, they stopped the line. Previous to that, they were doing all helmeted figures. And finally, around Rogue One, we started seeing some figures with faces that were being advertised. There was a Baze Malbus, there was a Chirrut Imwe, and even a Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Unfortunately, all those were canceled, and the line sort of disappeared for a few years, and it just came back this year. So really pleased about that. Just in time for the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, we got a Jango Fett earlier in the year. And if that wasn't enough Mandalorians, we got a Boba Fett Return of the Jedi. We got a few versions of the Mandalorian. And we finally did get our first face character, which I'm going to show you today. Of course, it's everyone's favorite prequel Sith Lord, Darth Maul. So why don't we start by taking a look at this box and cover some of the unique features of this figure. The box art has changed significantly on these over the years. Prior to this, it was just like a etched silhouette with a silver leaf or a gold leaf, depending on if it was a special edition of the character. Now you actually get a picture of the product on the front, showing off all the details on it. Again, here on the back, you get some action shots, more of the product, and some of the description of what's enclosed, along with that sticker of authenticity. But they added some logos you see on the package, the Episode 1 logo. Just a massive redesign of bringing this line back, and can never make sense of the numbers of the series. This is EAA 095. Have all of them, but they don't really complete a sequence of 1 to 100. And I tried deconflicting this with the Marvel egg attacks or the DC egg attacks, and sometimes there's duplicates, so it doesn't really have any rhyme or reason for how these are etched out, unless there were some canceled ones in between. In the old series, they used to release one and then 2 years later have a previous number in the sequence, so unclear on how this is decided. I'll try to follow up at some point with Beast Kingdom to figure that out, but I don't really think there's any rhyme or reason to it, but yeah, it's just what it is. You just kind of have to accept that. So some of the Beast Kingdoms in the past had slide outs. Some of them had Velcro open ones. Fortunately, this is a Velcro opening one, so it lets you see the inside. So let's take a closer look at that. So here's our star. What's unique about this, it is the first face character. So we have alternative face sculpts. We've never had any alternative heads before for the figure, so this is really cool. As the package says, we have normal, which I'm guessing is the one on the far right, angry in the middle, and then roaring, as they call it, or super angry. So it's pretty cool to have sort of this range of emotion on the face. Unclear if they'll do this on future figures with faces. The next one, of course, is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was announced coming out in the spring, so time will tell. They haven't really shown off any accessories with that. So as you can see in the package is outlaid on the left, they have all the accessories there. He has a removable robe, cloak, or whatever you want to call it. He has, of course, his famous double-bladed lightsaber with removable blades. He also has some action blades in there. He has his binoculars, the Sith binoculars, not sure what those are called. And then, of course, as any Beast Kingdom figure has, he's going to have an assortment of hands. In addition to that, he has his stand. This is a little bit of a standout, forgive the pun, from the previous stands, because there is a logo on it in addition to his name. In the past, they just kind of said Beast Kingdom, and not all of them had the character names on them. So this is kind of cool. They've also always been transparent, and this one is not. It is black. So that's kind of distinctive as well. So why don't we get a little bit of closer look at the figure now and do a little unboxing. All right, so we're going to take a look at the inside of this box and check out the figure. I don't like to fumble around with things when I'm unboxing to save some time. So boom, there he is, already on the outside. Beast Kingdom likes to include a nice set of instructions. I don't find them that helpful. They just kind of tell you how the figures articulate, how to put on pieces, but some of the more complex features are never covered, so it's not really super useful. One thing I like about Beast Kingdom is they really secure the products in their package well. There's a lot of tiny pieces here, so it's nice to have a form-fitting plastic to keep them from rolling around. The stand is always underneath at the bottom. This one's in a separate little baggie, and you can see that episode 1 logo on it again. I never feel like I need the stands because these guys like to stand on their own really well. They're easy to balance. They have a lot of articulation to make that possible. So not really needed, but it's a nice display piece. So here's the man himself, looking really fierce here. A lot of great detailing on that face. The really tight paint applications. They didn't miss anything. There's no fuzzy lines or anything. Those eyes are amazing. That nice Sith yellow on there. This robe is insane. Soft goods robe with an actual hood. Look at this. It goes all the way over his horns. And it molds perfectly with the little wire in there to let you form fit it any way you want, which I think is pretty cool. See the robe here closed, also got wiring on the front, so you could close it or leave it open. That's great. And then test out his heads here. He's got an assortment of them. Just take a little look. So a lot of great detailing on these horns too. Each little one seems to be put in individually. It's got some different shades of color, and we'll get some close shots so you can see it in a minute. Different shades of coloring on it, so it's not all just monochromatic. Really went above and beyond on the detail on his on this Zabrik's head here. Really, really nice. So, of course, that head just pops off. And we have the angry face, gritting his teeth here. And then we have the super angry face, or as they called it, I think rage face or something here. So that's always great. Now, right away, the first feature I discovered that is not covered in the box, it's not covered in the instructions, is the movable eyes, which is really cool. So you could articulate his eyeballs and give him some kind of like a little suspicious look over here when he's looking to the right. Or you could do some funny poses if you wanted. But I think that is really cool to be able to control the eyes from the inside here, and just gives you a lot more range of emotions to these characters than you get without them. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, amazing. Nice little hidden surprise there. So something I like to do on a lot of these figures is I do what's called Nick's hand test on any figure to see how easy it is to take and put on hands and take them off. Now, in the early versions of these lines, the hands were really difficult to get on because they just weren't worn yet or could not get on that little ball socket. Often you'd end up pulling the ball socket out, or you'd break some of the hands. Lost a few good hands back then. But I've played around with a lot of lines, and I've had trouble with some of the NECA lines. I've had trouble with some of the older Playmates lines. Some of the easier lines I've seen have been 3-0 in their hands, but let's take a look at these hands on the sort of new version of the Beast Kingdom. So we're going to take off his flat hand. You can see the little ball peg in here. I'm going to try this gripping hand, and immediately I could tell it's not super easy because he has this gauntlet that keeps coming off. So you need to put a little backward pressure on that while you're putting, yep, there it goes. Okay, so not too hard. Much of an improvement in the original ones. So this way he could hold something. Of course, you want the iconic pose with him here. He has his open hand with the right hand extended. So I'll hold that for a second and I'll give you a close-up shot with him in that pose. So let's take a look at the accessories. So in addition to the assortment of hands, we have these action blades that go on to give you a little bit of a swoosh in the double-bladed lightsaber. Speaking of which, we have the hilt for the double-bladed lightsaber here. There's a little nub on here. I'm sure we'll see if that comes in place as being able to mount it on his belt later. He has his binoculars, which you could put in his hand here and hold up to his eyes if you needed to. There's great articulation in these guys. They have joints at the elbows, at the knees. These are all, of course, hidden underneath his fabric outfit. Yeah, you can hear that little snap here. They got great shoulder articulation. This allows them to get all the way around the front of the figure, so they could actually hold things in between. Look at that. That range to be able to hold something with two hands right in front of you is amazing. That's a unique thing to Beast Kingdom figures, another reason I love them. So in addition to that, he's got some regular blades with a little bit of a coating on them. And while this is not covered again in the literature, he actually has glow-in-the-dark lightsaber blades. So these are pretty cool. If you're wondering what that looks like in low light, it's kind of hard to achieve in these videos. It looks like this. Pretty cool. Nice feature, a nice surprise. When I saw the representative at Comic-Con this year, he told me that's something they're bringing back to Obi-Wan. So if you're a fan of the light up, you'll see it again very soon. So why don't we take a quick look at him in some poses. Instead of me wasting your time doing it, we'll just show you through the magic of editing. Here we have him doing his little Tatooine Jedi hunting, holding the binoculars the correct way this time, with his hood up, looking all, angry and intimidating. Now, you could do a lot with this figure and with the accessories they give you. So by popping off the hands and gauntlets, we could now get him into his iconic Theed Palace battle pose, where we first saw that double-bladed lightsaber unveiled in that trailer way, way back in the previous century at this point. So that's pretty cool. If you wanted to, you could add in those battle effect or whooshing lightsabers into the blades instead. Now, as we pointed out before, the lightsaber hilt has a little notch on the side that lets you hang it up on his belt. So if you just wanted a standby mode or just a walking around with the the lightsaber look on his hip, you could do that very easy, whether it's underneath the robe or no robe. Totally optional, but that's pretty cool. They've done this with a lot of figures in the past. They've done it with Darth Vader, so it's pretty a nice little detail to be able to take the blade out and then just hang up a lightsaber on the figure. And that's what I sort of love about these, is they give you so many different accessories and so many different options that you could, make the figure your own and just do whatever you want with it. It has that great articulation to give you so many poses. People take it for granted to just be able to hold something with two hands in front of you. It's hard to do on really any action figure because they just can't move their arms around enough. So whereas most figures can't hold a blaster or anything, I mean, these guys could do whatever you want. So you could have him in that battle mode holding a lightsaber straight vertical in front of him, or, showing off his range of emotion with these faces and eyes by like stepping on a Lego or something. It's just limitless in terms of how you could really display this figure, or however you want to display it creatively. So great. I mean, it's just great that they were able to bring all that into the figure and have this great medium in this figure of cloth and plastic and the functionality of the eyes, which is a nice feature. And I'm just glad that they were able to do a face figure finally that just give us a little bit more dynamic than the helmeted ones. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this look at this amazing new Darth Maul figure. Really glad they started doing facial features on figures as opposed to just the helmeted versions. Although the helmeted figures are quite amazing if you've acquired some of those in the past. They're re-releasing a lot. Next year you can get the Stormtrooper again, inspired from his Rogue One look. You could also get the Death Trooper. I believe the Shore Trooper might be coming out for release again as well. And of course they're bringing back Darth Vader with the light up chest and the voice box sound. Very cool figures as well. We can take a look at those in the future. But right now, if you're wondering how to acquire this guy, you can get him at Big Bad Toy Store. You can get him at Entertainment Earth. He's also available direct from Beast Kingdom. We'll put up some links. Of course, you could always use Rebelscum's unique code for Entertainment Earth to score him at 10% off. I think he comes in around $89 or $99. In my opinion, totally worth it. You're getting a lot with this figure. It's not just a 6-inch standard action figure. He has that nice mixed media of using cloth, of using plastic. He also has the glow-in-the-dark sabers, multiple facial expressions, the articulating eyeballs, great detailing on the horns, great paint applications on the face, also great paint applications on the lightsaber and the binoculars. I think these guys are just amazing. They're a nice cross between your collectible high-end Hot Toys and your regular 6-inch Black Series. They just let you do so much with them, as I've shown you. You could really make it your own. It looks great on your shelf. It looks great on your desk at work. It's a conversation piece. I took it with me to Comic-Con this year. I called him Mini Maul. He just kind of chilled out in the lines or just appeared in random booths, and he could really just do so much. He's just kind of fun to have around and kill time with. So I'll leave you with that. If you guys really enjoyed this and you want to see more of the Egg Attack line, comment or just let us know. I have many more I could show you. There was an amazing Return of the Jedi Boba Fett this year that came out as a 2-pack. So maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. You just have to keep tuning back to find out. So as always, like, subscribe, and follow us on our social media on YouTube and check out the website. And I will be seeing you guys again, so you are forewarned. Until then, take it easy, you Rebel scum.